Happy Saturday, guys, and welcome to our weekly live stream here on the FilmSpeak channel. I am your host, as always, Griffin Schiller, and here at FilmSpeak, we like to say that the conversation continues after the credits, and this is exactly what that conversation is going to be about. It's very loose, it's very casual, it's just hanging out, talking movies, taking your live questions. But hey, if you aren't subscribed to the channel, consider subscribing because we'd love to have you, and we'd love to have you join these live streams on a regular basis. I don't do these alone. As you know, I bring in guests, and today I have two amazing guests, one you've seen before, one you haven't seen before. And I guess you could say that this live Q&A might have a little bit of a theme to it, so take that into account when you're sending in your questions. But as always, I've got my good friend Chris from 3C Films. Chris, how is it going?
It's doing all right over here. May I say you sound extra crispy today? I'm sorry that my audio isn't as crispy, but thanks for having me on.
Yeah, of course, man. No, listen, there's tricks and tools that you pick up every now and then. There's software you buy. Eventually you go broke, but if your audio sounds good, that's all that matters. Yeah. So, and then my other good friend, Mr. Jimmy Champane, the Halloween guru himself, is joining me on this stream. Jimmy, how's it going?
Great. I'm just hanging out at home like everyone else. Your audio does sound great, by the way.
Thank you. I just needed that that validation that the money I just spent yesterday was worth it, because it was I spent almost $200 trying to find how to do live stream post processing audio and shit like that. So it's a fucking nightmare, but it's as long as I sound good. Yeah, as long as I sound good, that's all that matters. But anyways, yeah, what have you guys been up to? What have you guys been watching and stuff during, I guess, the state of the world right now?
You guys have probably already finished The Last of Us Part 2. I'm like 10% in, finally getting started with it. Not controversial, just some stuff that's happened that hasn't been justified story-wise yet, and I'm just eager to get back into there.
Yeah, for sure. You finished it, didn't you, Jimmy?
Yeah, there's a store by my house that breaks street date, so I got it a couple days early.
Ooh,
and
nice.
I finished it on Monday.
So nice.
I played through the weekend basically. It was I really liked it.
Good.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I haven't started it yet, just because I haven't. Well, because I wanted to play through the first one again.
Good move.
That's why I was late. I never played the first one.
And, yeah, well, there you go.
I just finished that a couple days ago.
Yeah, it's been I don't even remember, when did that first one come out? 2013
7
or
years
something?
ago. Yeah.
7. Yeah, and I just I remember playing it in college and had friends in the dorm playing it and everything, and it was just it was really popular, and I remember loving it. But then I haven't thought about it, or well, I shouldn't say thought about it, but I haven't touched it since. And it's because of how integral it is to the story in the second one, I'm just kind of okay. So I got to make sure I got to make sure I play this. Yeah. So yeah, anyways, guys, for those of you who are watching this, send in your questions. This whole show is about taking your live questions and whatnot. If you want to get your question answered immediately, the super chat option is available to you. It is not required, but we do appreciate it. So yeah, well, actually, the first thing I want to talk about here is, Jimmy, you actually broke a scoop the other day about Evil
really
Dead, and I want to actually get you to get your take on that, because the while it might not seem like it pertains a whole lot to the plot and everything, I think it could really determine as to what kind of film this is going to be,
Yeah. So the scoop is that so basically when the movie was announced as Evil Dead Rise, someone who talks to me a lot about the industry, who works behind the scenes, mentioned that they know Lee Cronin, the director and writer, and he was the person was surprised that this information hadn't been out, because it's just been known for so long. But for over a year, I guess, the script's been basically done, and he said that it's set within a skyrise, and I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. And then 2 weeks later, there's this interview with Bruce Campbell where he says, yeah, we're moving away from a cabin in the woods, and the title's actually Evil Dead Rise. And I was like, okay. So I asked my friend, I was like, hey, can I do a video on this? And he was like, yeah, I thought this was common knowledge anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know why more people don't know it. And then I took it as an office building type setting, but since then I've learned that it's more of like an apartment building type skyrise instead of an office, which makes me really happy because I was like, Belko Experiment, Office Uprising, Mayhem. Like there's so many like office building movies over the past few years, and like it's just like a setting you use if you don't have a lot of money. So
yeah.
I'm happy that it's apartment.
As long as I don't feel like it's skyscraper, but with like a horror lens over it, I'm okay. Like that's like fine.
Devil. Yeah, right. Yeah. Bring in the rock.
Bring in the rock and everything. No, but I think it's interesting because it's like the Evil Dead premise like has so much potential in different settings like outside of this cabin in the woods. So it's like I guess seeing it in like a really claustrophobic area, like an apartment complex or whatever, I don't know. I feel like you can start to get creative with how you structure the film, you know?
Yeah.
I do wonder also, like what Jimmy was saying, well, like maybe that guy, he said it was common knowledge or stuff, but like I brought it up on my channel way back when we thought it was called Evil Dead Now. And I didn't feel the hype for it. Like there's another Evil Dead movie coming out. Of course, Bruce Campbell's not going to be part of it, but still, I would think that's like really big news. At least I would think on the same level as a new Scream movie. But I don't see that much urge for it yet. Do you think it's because Bruce Campbell isn't involved, or Sam Raimi's not directing, or?
I think it's Bruce Campbell mostly, right?
Yeah, that would be my guess.
It's weird because Evil Dead, like. They know what they have to do, which is make a movie with Bruce Campbell that's a sequel to Army of Darkness. But I feel like they kind of screwed up by making
the show
Evil Dead. Yeah, because back when that show was made, it was like Evil Dead. That's never really been that profitable of a franchise.
Yeah,
even with Bruce Campbell, and then they make the show and no one watches it. So now it's like, why would anyone make a movie with the big budget with Bruce Campbell in it? It's like the legs aren't there anymore.
And I know he's producer, but even more so ironic that he's the one dropping all the information, which I think just like confuses people.
Like, oh yeah, like this is Evil Dead Rise now. It's like 2 weeks ago. It had a different title.
You said something else. Yeah.
Did you misspeak, or are you guys like you don't need to update us on literally every meeting you have?
It's
the script's been done for a while, and I guess they took it was supposed to come out sooner, but obviously the virus happened, but they also took a break to work on that Queeby show, which is
Queeby. Like, why did so many people just Queeby in general, who thought that was going to be a good idea? Like, I understand the concept of like, okay, yeah, people watch Netflix on their phones, so maybe if we made a platform that was only for mobile, then they will want to do that. But people only watch Netflix on their phones when they have to. Like if you poll most people, they'd rather watch Netflix on their TV. Hell, they'd even rather watch it on their laptop or iPad before their phone. So the whole logic of just like, we're going to have a streaming service with bite-sized piece of content exclusively for your phone, I don't get it. And it's like, if people want to do that, they're going to go to YouTube and they're going to watch the creators that they already know and have a connection with. They're not going to watch these like random, like high budget shows or whatever. It's so dumb that was even like greenlit in the first place.
So you couldn't access it on a desktop, like from a browser. I honestly, I knew it was a thing and I didn't know what it was until the other day when I was writing that video. And I was like, what even is this? It seems really dumb though. And yeah, you're right. I've never once in my life watched Netflix on my phone ever. I've used like an iPad or other stuff, but never a phone.
Yeah,
so that is a flawed concept from.
It's just absolute trash. I do want to talk about Scream a little bit. We do have a super chat here though from Zaya, and thank you so much for the super chat, man. He's saying, what is a movie that you love that other people hate? So Jimmy, let's start with you on this one.
I have a poster on my wall. Blair Witch.
Blair Witch. The remake?
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
No, it's a sequel. It's a direct sequel.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I love that movie. It's really good. I was at the screening where it was still called the Woods, and then they were at Comic-Con, and then they changed all the posters during it, and I think it was really good. I think it was a good continuation of the franchise. I feel like it just came out at a really bad time where everyone was kind of sick of found footage
Yeah.
I love the marketing twist they did with it.
Yeah, and
That was
weirdly it focused too much on having a drone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like what? Yeah. No, I don't I get where you're coming from. I don't hate Blair Witch, but it's just like I guess no matter what a sequel to the original film was going to be, it was never going to have the impact of that original film. Just because that original film, like, first of all, it like kickstarted the found footage genre before it even became a genre, really. And then it just like it completely, the marketing for it, just like people didn't know if it was like real or not. It was just like it hit the zeitgeist in just that right moment where it just like it genuinely terrified people. And like I grew up in Maryland, and like the place where that film was supposed to take place was like right by my house. It was like 45 minutes around. So I'm just like, okay, cool. This is like extra scary. So it's like, but the remake, or sorry, not remake, the sequel, it's not bad. It gets a little bit too much flack for what it is, for sure.
Yeah, the game's really good too.
I haven't played the game.
It's coming to the Switch. I'm thinking about getting it, but I'm not sure yet. I think you did a video on why the game's awesome, didn't you?
I did a announcement video. If you go to the Xbox E3 thing last year, when they like showed the trailer, you can hear like one really loud cheer, and that's me.
Yeah.
No one knew what it was. Awesome. And then when they announced it's Blair Witch, no one cared except me. It was like so fun. That was a blast. But yeah,
number one fan over there. Chris, what's a movie you love that other people hate?
It was the other day on Twitter. I realized people didn't like the movie, and I don't know, maybe it's because of the culture, what's going on right now, and especially with the whole topics of white actors leaving, voicing black roles. I really dig Nacho Libre, and I saw people were just
people don't like that.
Yeah, I saw like a bunch of people bashing it, and I was like, is it just because Jack Black plays a Hispanic or a Hispanic-like character? Like, what's the deal? But I honestly really like that movie, and I found out people hate it.
That was. Yeah, I know. That was another. Well, okay. So I'll full disclosure here. When I was growing up and I first watched that movie, I didn't like it. I couldn't, for whatever reason, I couldn't get into it. It was like that same Napoleon Dynamite Nickelodeon humor, that like live action.
So you don't like Napoleon Dynamite either?
I don't, but I like Nacho Libre more than Napoleon Dynamite.
Okay, wow.
I got Napoleon Dynamite later. I didn't get it when it came out, like when I was in 5th grade, I think, or something.
Yeah.
And then I saw it a little when I was in middle school, or like, and I was like, oh yeah, I get it now.
It's awkward humor.
It is, for sure. It's just, I don't know, and I think that's probably why when I rewatched Nacho Libre recently, I was like, oh, okay, no, this is funny. It's like, it's stupid, but like, it's I get the awkward humor to it. So like, that's one that took me a little bit to get into for whatever reason. I don't even know. But in terms of, for me, just a movie that I love that other people hate, I mean, God, I have so many. I mean,
there are a lot.
I know. I love the Amazing Spider-Man 2. I love John Carter. I love shit. I don't even now I'm just blanking.
I like Amazing Spider-Man 2. That was like the ultimate Spider-Man movie. Basically.
Yeah. No, I agree. And I know there's probably people who's like, where's your video on it? I'm like, okay, I'm still working on it. I have been incredibly busy just with like
you sent
work.
Me the thumbnail for that. Like,
I know. I know. No. I made the thumbnail first, and then I was like going into it. It's like
good tactic.
Exactly. You got to like promote what you're doing for sure. I will finish it. It is coming. Okay. Like it is happening. But yeah, no, I absolutely, I agree with you. Cause I guess you grew up on like the Ultimate Spider-Man 2 then?
Yeah. I was like reading them as they came out.
Yeah.
And they're the best. It's so good.
Mm-hmm.
And Miles Morales is like a continuation. I was like super resistant to it. And then I read it after a few issues came out and I was like, this is really good.
Yeah. For sure.
And then I love it now. Another good one. I just had what was it? I was just thinking about another movie that everyone hates. I love. Oh, Glass. And then because I saw you were talking about everyone hates Nacho Libre now, and then I was like, oh, everyone's trying to get Split taken off Netflix.
Oh yeah,
insane.
I did see that.
Incredible. And I was like, oh, I like Glass, but everyone hates Glass. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
I don't like Glass. I appreciate the ambition, but I don't think it. I don't think it hits the mark for me, especially coming off a Split, man. Like it's
Split is like the best out of all of those, I think.
yeah, I would I'd probably agree. I don't know. I really like Unbreakable, but I don't know the like Split on its own, like as a self-contained, just like psychological thriller with this deranged guy with multiple personalities is amazing.
Yeah.
And then it's like when it gets to the Beast stuff, it kind of takes me out of it, but like that's why you had to link it into like Unbreakable.
Like, how do you make that cool? You know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so it's like the twist of it being, you know, a whatever, however many year sequel to Unbreakable, like backdoor sequel to Unbreakable is kind of genius. That's like one of those great moments when you're singing in the theater and like the music starts playing. You're like, what the fuck is like, are you kidding me right now?
I had no idea. And I saw it. I got to go to a screening for that. I think I reviewed Split for Bloody Disgusting. So that's how long ago it came out.
Oh, yeah.
So I went to their screening and then I didn't realize at first. And then I saw Bruce Willis and I was like, oh, shit, that's awesome. That was a weird deal they had to make, like where Disney owns those characters still. Because of, I guess they owned Miramax Lane, and they had to like do some weird deal. M. Night Shyamalan said like, "Hey, can I use David Dunn or whatever?" And they were like, "Yeah, but if you make another movie with all these characters, we get to release it internationally." So when I went to the screening for Glass, it was like they were both at the ArcLight, and it was like 2 desks with the same poster, and one was for Disney and one was for Universal and Blumhouse.
That's so weird. That's so weird. Yeah, that's just the weirdest thing. Okay, another super chat from Zaya. Guys, keep sending in your questions. We'll try and get to them. Again, super chat is available if you want us to get it, answer that question immediately. Zaya saying, is Green Book bad or is it just because it won Best Picture? I think it's a little bit of both. I don't think it's a great. I think there are like. As a road trip movie, I think there's stuff to enjoy, but it's just like incredibly tone deaf. And like, it's one of those, oh, we solved racism with a car ride kind of movies. And so it's like, it's not.
Or Let It Go by Passenger.
Yeah, right. It's not a great movie. It's very problematic. And it's just like, take that. And then it winning Best Picture just like kind of sours people even more on the film. So it's like a combination of those things, but just on principle, it's not great, at least in my opinion. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah, you had another guest a couple weeks back. I forget her name, but she was like adamant about hating this movie and why it was really bad. I forget her name.
Was it Kalina? Was it Sharonda?
I think, there goes Kalina.
Oh, okay,
and then I was like so surprised because I thought it was a fine movie, and like I don't know if I would have picked it for Best Picture that year. But then I looked into more of what she was talking about, and like it opens you up to like, oh, I kind of see it now.
Well, and it's one of those things where it's like the family of Don Shirley was like, this is like completely fabricated. This did not happen the way the movie perceives it, and so it's. There's a lot of like inaccuracies in it, and like I don't know. It's basically like another version of Driving Miss Daisy, which is not a good movie. So I don't know. There's that, but I don't know. Jimmy, do you have any thoughts and opinions on Green Book?
I don't know. I looked into it when it was like the trending topic, and I was like, that sounds. I mean, I get it. Especially, it feels like they took a story that was marketable to them and made a different story out of it, right? And
basically,
and it came out at basically the worst time, I think, for something like that to happen. So
well, and especially in a year where like you have Black Klansman nominated for Best Picture, you have Black Panther nominated for Best Picture, you have I don't know, there were like countless other really great movies nominated for Best Picture, and it's like that's the film that won. It's like out of all the movies that tackle race, that's the one
with the white lead.
Yeah, right. That's told through like a white perspective. It's like, okay, this is not really sitting well with me. So
yeah, but like when have the Oscars ever been good at picking Best Picture, right?
Well, that's the other thing. I mean, I think last year they got it with Parasite. That was a good one.
That's really good. I love Parasite.
Yeah. That one.
A horror movie, so I got like hyped for it going in. There's like one scary part. I get like scared.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
I think that kind of underserved it. Like that's how you get people to watch it. I think there are so many better ways you could describe it, but I love Parasite. I had a lot of fun with it.
It's great. Yeah, no, it's one of those movies. It's like you can't classify it in any like particular genre. It's like, yeah, it's kind of got like a Hitchcockian thriller vibe, but then it's like really not like that at all. It kind of subverts that, and then it's like a dark comedy, but then it like really gets heavy towards the end. And so I don't know. It's just it's a Bong Joon-ho movie, and I think that's the best way you can describe it. But okay, another super chat here from the trailers and movies. Rank all the Pirates of the Caribbean movies from worst to best. Who wants to go first on that one?
You guys will have to. I have not seen any of the Pirates movies. I know. I'm sorry.
I thought I was going to be the odd one out because I've only seen the first 3.
Okay,
well, that's okay. That's okay.
I'll rank those. Ready?
How many are there?
Like
5.
6?
5. Yeah,
I'll
5.
watch the other 2. I like those movies. Okay.
Yeah.
So number 1 spot is the smell of the water on the ride. Number 2 is second movie, then the first one, then the third one. That's my ranking.
The smell of the water. Okay, so
but you know exactly what I'm talking about.
No, I do, and you want to know why? My girlfriend was on Etsy, and there is this Etsy store that sells candles that smell like the Disney theme park rides, and there's one that smells like. Wait, did you get that one? The Pirates one?
We have that one, and then the Avatar Banshee ride one, and that one.
Wow.
That's a good.
There's a Banshee smelling candle.
Yeah, have you been to the Avatar World thing at Disney
Yeah,
World?
yeah. I didn't know they.
It blasts the smells. They made a candle of the smell.
I had no idea they made a candle of it. Okay, you got to send me. You got to send me that link. We got to buy it because we've been on a kick with those like theme park scented candles, and it's like they have one for the Haunted Mansion, and I'm like, we haven't gotten it yet, but I'm like, that has to smell just like musty and just like unpleasant, and I'm like, the
Chris,
Pirates
you'll never forget that Pirates of the Caribbean smell. Like
the
water just hits different. It's really
the water hits different. Yeah, I don't know. It smells like chlorine mixed with like rum and like spices. It's such a weird candle to have burning in your home because you walk in, you're like, am I at a public pool right now? It's just like it's so weird. Yeah, but right. It's like one of those that's just like, oh, okay, yeah, that's. I don't hate that. I'm kind of getting high off of it. But yeah, for me, Pirates, it goes 4, 5, 3, 2, 1. I guess. I don't know. Sometimes
best to worst or worst to best.
Worst. That's worst to best. I think.
I was like, ooh, 5.
Yeah. First. Oh no. Given the day, sometimes I like 2 more than 1. But yeah. But yeah. Thanks so much for.
We could use that as a segue in. Did you hear about the Margot Robbie news and your thoughts on that?
Yeah, let's hear it, Chris. What are your thoughts on it?
Oh, well, I can't give too much. Like, I want to see the Pirates movie. It was just ones that never got handed to me. And then I was just like, oh, there's a 4th one. I don't know if I want to sit down and see all these others, but I think she's great. I mean, she's shown her range to be able to be kooky and loony. I just hope she's not a Johnny Depp, Jack Sparrow knockoff because we know his mannerisms. I just hope she doesn't go for that same type of I'm a drunken, silly pirate. You know, I'm hoping they do something different. But I also heard there's 2 different pirate movies they're working on, and one might still be the Karen Gillan one that they were talking about a couple weeks back.
Yeah. That's kind of the gist that I got from it. I don't know, Jimmy. Did you have anything to add to that?
I love Margot Robbie. I love Karen Gillan. So, like, I don't know. The Johnny Depp thing is like weird to me. I get why they got rid of him. But yeah, the fourth one's the weirdest one because that like wasn't written to be a Pirates of the Caribbean movie. It was like,
oh really?
They wanted to make a new one, and Disney, I guess, had bought just a random pirate movie script, so they just worked in Johnny Depp and all these different characters.
Yeah.
And that's why there's like no connections between it and all the other ones. I guess it's such a weird.
It is a weird one. It's also the only one that focuses solely on Johnny Depp. Like
that's why.
Yeah, and it, as we see, it doesn't work. Like he only works when he's a side character, and I think
I haven't seen it, so I don't know.
Well, yeah, I think it's like the stuff with Blackbeard. I like the stuff with the mermaids was cool, but it's like when Johnny Depp is your lead for all intents and purposes as Jack Sparrow, it doesn't hit the same way. And that's why I think in the original trilogy, while he got more ridiculous as like the films went on, he still never like reached like a certain peak. But like when you look at that first movie, he is through and through a supporting character, and it's perfect. He like perfectly accents like everything that's going on. it's not overdone at all. And it's like with each installment, they've like made him progressively more ridiculous. And so for me personally, I'm okay with Johnny Depp sitting like this one or both of them out. Yeah, like there are other pirates out there we can explore. There's different stories that we can tell. The one thing I will say is that I would like to see Elizabeth Swann incorporated in some capacity, just because I feel like there's still story left to tell with that character. You know, her relationship with Orlando Bloom and stuff like that. But I don't know if they're going to even do that. But yeah, Margot Robbie as a pirate, Karen Gillan as a pirate, like sign me up. That sounds fun.
Yeah.
I wish that franchise like matured with its audience, but it feels like it's gone the other way. Like where every movie they tried to appeal to younger people on a sequel, which is weird. Like you feel like it's pirates, right? Like you can make a pretty not like an R-rated movie, but like you could go PG-13 with it, I think, and do something pretty cool for people our age.
Yeah,
that's a huge audience right now. But like bringing a bunch of kids back in after like disaster after disaster with their live action movies, that just doesn't seem like the right trajectory to me.
Yeah, I mean that's a good point, and I think that's why I like the original trilogy. It never pandered to kids. Like it stayed consistent with like who it was trying to target. It's like, yeah, it's fun for like, you know, middle school and up, but it's like adults can really like latch on to the thematics and whatever and within. It's just, I don't know, it's all around. It's just like a great adventure, you know, and we don't get enough of those films. So I just really hope that those movies like bring back that genre, you know?
Yeah, it's cool because it's like its own IP. Like even it is based on a ride.
But it's original.
But it's cool. Yeah. It came out of nowhere. And you mentioned earlier, like John Carter. I never knew people didn't like that movie. I just thought they didn't see it. I thought
that's what I thought it was. People just didn't see it.
It's a little bit of both. It's like there's a lot of people who just were like, well, this is stupid. But then like you're right, it was just like terribly marketed and horrendously underseen. So it's just it's unfortunate. Yeah, because that is such that could have spawned a really interesting franchise, you know? You know, say what you will about Taylor Kitsch, but I thought he was all right in the film, and I just like the world and whatnot. So, anyways, thank you for the super chat. That was we spent a lot of time talking about pirates, but it's fun. There's actually there's a good question in here that I want to get your guys' take on. So Gloyan DeHobit asks, best movie song, Time of My Life in Dirty Dancing, or Celine Dion's My Heart Will Go On in Titanic? This is the ultimate question, guys. What is it?
Chris, go for it.
Oh man, that's a hard one. But I guess in terms of still pulls heartstrings when I hear it, I guess Celine Dion. I hate that it's kind of become a meme. It's funny when it is used that way, but I think in the context of the film, it still sounds really lovely.
Yeah.
I agree with that completely.
I think I'd be in the same boat. Yeah, it's like. Well, I didn't grow up with Dirty Dancing, first of all, so there's that. I found it later. So it's like I grew up with Titanic, and like when that stupid song starts playing, like it just, I don't know. It's I mean, it's iconic for a reason. And yeah, anyways. Okay, so Jaron Talks Movies with the super chat. Thank you so much, man. Saying finally watched Inception. Why is it so good? Because it's Inception. It's one of Christopher Nolan's many masterpieces. Like it's just it ticks a lot of boxes.
With the top was actually like a really huge top. It was like bigger than a guy. Like there's like this picture going around Twitter yesterday.
No,
like a whole green screen stage, like a huge one, and there's these like dudes in full green screen suits, and the top, but it's like massive, like 3 6-foot men high, so 18 feet high, and I guess that's how they filmed it.
And that's how they shot it.
I don't know if it was for the whole movie, but it was like they used it for some shots. I was like, what the fuck? This is crazy. I never even like thought of it on that scale.
That's nuts.
You got to look it up. It's
probably ridiculous. Just because of like, I gotta see that. Cause that's, I mean, it's probably just because you're right, because they are focusing on it and it's spinning for so long. So they probably had to do something to like make sure that it did what Nolan wanted it to do in the right amount of time. But like,
it's really upset me to see it. And then like humans next to it. It's like deeply unsettling, you know? None of this.
Yeah.
That movie is amazing.
For sure.
I love Inception.
No, it's my favorite film of all time. It's just nothing can The only thing that compares to seeing that movie in theaters is when I saw The Dark Knight Rises and that movie ended and like Joseph Gordon-Levitt is just rising up. Like I was crying. So there's that. But yeah, I don't know. Chris, are you a big Inception guy?
Oh yeah, I love it. And we'll probably never get it, but I was kind of on that conspiracy train hoping Tenet was a secret sequel or something like that. I know no one wants that, but I would love I think I would love at the end of the movie if Leonardo DiCaprio goes up to Washington's character and is like, "You can reverse time. Can you do it in a dream?"
Yeah. Well, hey, maybe. Who knows?
Goes up, he's like, "I'm Robin."
Oh.
Yeah, there you go. Complete his own Unbreakable trilogy.
I think Griffin's
I mean,
again.
Yeah. Listen, JGL needs some more work. He's in cockpits and planes for Amazon, and that's about it. And I don't know.
I hate that, man. I hate that he's not, because he's in such great movies, but it never box office wise turns out good for him, so they don't cast him anymore.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. It's disappointing. Well, I know he took a little bit of a break. I think because he had kids, right? Like, yeah, I think that was like one of the reasons. So yeah, I don't know. But yeah, he's definitely been missed for sure. Okay, going back in here, I know we missed a few super chats. So I'm going to try and get to those. Zach Marsh saying Unbreakable is the best thing Night will ever make.
I think we still go with
I don't know.
I mean, not Signs.
I don't know.
Sixth Sense.
Yeah.
Sixth Sense is really good. So is Signs. I don't know. Sometimes I prefer Unbreakable over both of those movies. So I get where you're coming from. I don't know. I do think his best days are behind him, though. I will probably say that. I don't know. Do you guys agree with that?
Or are you excited for his newest movie? I know we have no details on it, but it's.
I don't care. Really. Just because it's like.
I thought Split's up there for me. Really, it's when I think about it. Obviously, Sixth Sense is so far away in my mind that like I don't want to rank it high, but I feel like if I went and watched it today, I would rank it number 1. Yeah. And I'm trying to think like Split is probably my number 2 for him. I love that movie.
Yeah. I mean I would say Split is top 3, like for sure. Did
either of you guys watch that Apple Plus show?
Servant?
Yeah. No, I have not.
No, I haven't.
I haven't either.
Should have had Tyler here.
I know. Yeah, Tyler's the massive Apple TV Plus fanboy, and he loves that movie, or sorry, that show. I had just heard like mixed things, you know, like I had heard some people that were like really digging it, and then other people are just like, it's just like not quite hitting the mark. But I don't know, it's like intriguing enough, you know.
Yeah.
All right, let's get back in here. Another super chat, and then we'll get back to the regular questions. Zach again with the super chat. Thank you so much. Someone approaches you and says they've never gotten into movies but want to start. What is one movie above all others they should start with? That's a good question. I guess it depends on like, well, I don't know. It depends on a lot of things. Yeah. Because I mean, sometimes you go with a safe bet, and you're like, okay, we'll go watch Star Wars.
Schindler's List.
Yeah.
No, Jurassic Park.
Yeah, would that be the one you start with?
Yeah, it's simple. I just go Jurassic Park. Here you go. Have fun.
Yeah.
Cliche,
Chris, what do you go with?
I'd go with Back to the Future, just because I feel like there's very little people who would end up hating that.
And then if they don't like it, you don't talk to them.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
It's like
I guess that's true.
For your friendship.
That's a litmus test. Man, that's really tough because it's like, do you go with just like pure fun? You know what? No, I go with Raiders of the Lost Ark. That gives you everything. Yeah. That gives you adventure. That gives you action. That gives you great performances, characters, score. It's just fun. Like I think you definitely go with that. It's kind of funny. The movies that we picked, it's like it's either Spielberg or Zemeckis, and it's how they like really hit that the zeitgeist at the right time with just like their style. It's just they're universal for everyone.
A Serbian film.
No, absolutely not. Horrible. Okay, Kishav Batra with a super chat. Thank you so much, man. Saying, I know a lot of people love Fallout, but to me, Ghost Protocol is the best in the series because it was shot beautifully. Michael Giacchino's score, and of course, the Burj Khalifa scene. You're not alone with that. My friend Brody, who bailed on this podcast or this live stream, his favorite is Ghost Protocol as well because it feels like a more classic spy adventure. And yeah,
that's Brad Bird.
Brad Bird's 4. Yeah.
I like that one.
Yeah, is that your favorite?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not like a diehard fan, but I like that.
We're talking about Mission Impossible, not
yeah.
Die Hard.
Oh, I meant. I liked the one that doesn't have Henry Cavill more. So yeah, 4, and then the Henry Cavill one's my second favorite because that was really good too. And
yeah, for sure.
I might be the odd one out, but I really like 3. 3 is the one. Like, if
oh
you tell
no,
me
dude.
Right,
yeah,
yeah. Philip Seymour Hoffman is awesome.
Oh yeah. Before right. Before I'll back you up on that. Before Fallout, 3 was actually my favorite one. Because of that, because it was a more personal story, because of JJ's like style. That movie is such like an adrenaline rush. And then Philip Seymour Hoffman. I mean, it's just like he's so fucking good in that movie. Speaking of Philip Seymour Hoffman, I think there was a question in here earlier. It just reminded me of Paul Thomas Anderson, and so I was curious because I think his birthday was yesterday or something like that. What is? Do you guys have a favorite P.T. Anderson film or no?
I don't know any off the top of my head. I like Phantom Thread. That's him, right?
Yeah, that's
yes.
Okay, I like
that is a good choice.
Man, I'm caught between Boogie Nights and Punch Drunk Love.
Yeah, Punch Drunk I think is my favorite. With Phantom Thread is a very close second. That movie is really good.
Oh yeah,
like,
There Will Be Blood is great.
And it's totally not something. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he's great. I don't know the name off the top of my head, other than like secondhand stories from listening to this like Quentin Tarantino podcast about them being friends. That's it.
I love the memes that circulate every now and then. That's like, oh, Paul Thomas Anderson should play Milo Thatch in the Atlantis live action remake because it's like, I guess back in the day he had those like really circular glasses with like the center part. It was just like, oh, it's like
supposedly
they are. Yeah, it's in the works apparently.
Yeah, I'm sure all their cartoon movies are.
Voice because I love that movie, but that movie did so bad.
I know, but it's like it looks like the animation is unreal.
Well, it's made to be live action.
Yeah, it's made to be live action for sure. Okay, let's see. Going back in here. Sorry, guys. Got a few more super chats, then we'll get to some more questions. Again, if you want your question answered immediately, the super chat option is available to you, and we really appreciate it, but it's not required. So Eric Thorpe asking, how do you rank the Uncharted games? Jimmy?
This is one for me.
Yes, Jimmy.
4, 3, 2, Golden Abyss. No. 4, 3, Lost Legacy, 2, Golden Abyss, 1. So the Vita one's better than the first game, but then after that, it's like basically chronological order, except for Lost Legacy is a little bit lower. But yeah, those games are my favorite. I love those games so much.
Yeah, same. There's some of my favorite. Chris, how would you? Wait, have you played Uncharted?
Yes, I've only played the first 2 though. I have to get on to the rest. But from what I've played, I know you know what it is, and I hate this. It's because I don't know what happened. I hit a certain age, and now games like that they give me motion sickness. So I can only play them like 20-minute increments before I just get nauseous. I hate it.
Last of Us should be okay because it's slower. It's not as like flying everywhere and jumping all around and stuff.
Yeah. For me, it goes 4, 2, 3, and then 1. I haven't played Lost Legacy or the Vita game, but
Lost Legacy is really good. It's like $20 now. You could beat it in a day.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Chloe's awesome in it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I love her just as a character. And the concept sounded interesting. It's just like one of those ones that I was like, oh, well, it wasn't a full game, so it kind of like I lost a little bit of interest. So, but I don't know. We'll see what happens.
They used it as like a beta for Last of Us 2. There's a lot of stuff in Lost Legacy that they ended up using again in Last of Us 2, like the open world. There's like a little
really
area at the beginning of Last of Us, and that started in Lost Legacy. It's like exactly the same how that works out. Except you're in a Jeep in Africa and Uncharted, and you're on a horse in Seattle and Last of Us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's like a ton of stuff, and like the new fighting system in Last of Us 2 started in Lost Legacy. That was supposed to be just like a small DLC, and then they just kept working on it, and then it turned out to be a full like 8-hour game.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, interesting. I mean, one of these days I'll get around to it. Right now I'm ashamed to admit it, but I'm actually playing the Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated.
I'm waiting till I finish Last of Us so I can play that.
Yeah, I jumped into that before Last of Us, so I probably not the right move.
Well,
but,
I loved that game as a kid, so I can't wait to play it again.
it's fun, man. The remaster is really good. Like
I saw it was getting bashed on reviews, and I was like, oh
really?
Man. Yeah, if you look, well, it's just because they kept the mechanics the same from the PS2 era, and so there's people frustrated with that. I know. I don't know what else you're supposed to expect.
Like,
yeah, I know.
One of his things was death is too punishing in it.
Yeah, I was like, oh, come on, man.
You played the game.
I know. It's just like it on top of it just giving me nostalgia. It's like I don't know. I always thought that they were actually really fun and well-made games. They kind of they kind of took the Ratchet and Clank model and applied it to a SpongeBob game. And Ratchet and Clank are like some of my favorite video games of all time. So
can't wait for the new one.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for real. They're so much fun. Oh, okay. I see. Sharonda's in here dropping by to say hi. Hey, how's it going? Let's see. Going back in here. Did I miss any super chats? Okay. One here from Ganya saying, thank you for super chat, man. Saying, who's excited about Cobra Kai coming to Netflix? Do either of you watch Cobra Kai?
I have not, but I hear great things. Is it worth it, Griffin?
I'm in the same boat. I don't want to watch Cobra Kai.
So is YouTube?
I don't really have a big connection to.
Well, I hear YouTube's getting rid of their streaming side, so they're dumping everything. I think we lost Griffin.
I cut out.
Oh, there he is.
I glitched out. It's my fault. It's no, it's all good. I don't have a big connection to like the Karate Kid. Like I think it's a good movie, but I was just like, whatever. So when Cobra Kai came out, I was like, I could take it or leave it, and I just never got into it. But I hear it's really good. Okay, Gangster Elmo asking, what's a serious movie moment that makes y'all laugh? I will take this one really quick because it is
such a good question. Like the question is going to be better than any of our answers.
Oh, for sure. It's the end of Arrival when Jeremy Renner goes to Amy Adams and he's like, "You want to make a baby?" And I'm like, why? You ruined it. Took me out of the movie. It's so laughable. I can't ever watch the end of Arrival without laughing, which is totally not what you're supposed to do at the end of that movie. So, Jimmy, what's yours?
I'm trying to think of one that is like someone to know, but one of my favorite movies of all time, like seriously ever, is called Satan's Little Helper. And it's
yes, I've
like
seen it.
It's when I was in I was still in high school. My friend and I did a movie, like a commentary of it. I put it on YouTube, like way before I even had a channel. I made one. So it says if you go on YouTube, it says I made my channel on November 3rd, like 2010. I made it like stupid commentary and then never used it for like 6 years.
Yeah.
And I went back and checked on it and it had like 10,000 views. And I was like,
oh, nice.
Oh, fuck. And so I deleted it because I took it private because we said some like crazy shit in that thing.
Oh, man.
Because we were like kids. And at the end of that movie, I'm spoiling the end, but
it's fine.
Like,
it's okay. Go for it.
The guy, so the whole plot is this guy is he escapes a mental asylum on this island, right? And he dresses up like Satan and goes around and murders people. And there's this kid who loves
plays a video game.
Yeah, it's like the shittiest game ever made. And he's dressing up as Satan's little helper. That's what the game is called. So he never really like commit to this bit, but he thinks like this is like, he thinks he's like in the game. He thinks the Satan in the game is like a real character or whatever. So he's helping this guy murder people, yada, yada, yada. And then at the end of the movie, after there's like wanton murder, everything's going crazy. This island is on lockdown. The same dude comes up to the house dressed as Jesus.
Yeah.
And the kid is just like,
what?
No way, Mom.
It's
Jesus
so
is gonna help us. And then it like there's like a weird echo effect on his voice and it fades to black. And you could tell that the dude who made this movie was just like, I fucking nailed it. And then you're like cracking up. It's like
it's so bad.
It's one of my favorite movies I love it. I unironically
That's
love
amazing.
it, as bad as it is. It's like the Hell House LLC sequels. I'm just like, this sucks, but I love it.
That's amazing. Chris, do you have one? A serious moment?
Yeah, we talked about it a couple weeks back also on your live stream here. We had Hannah on, and I apparently was the only sicko who laughed at this. In the moment in Hereditary, I guess because I just like awkward moments, that's just the way I react. I laugh.
Oh, yeah.
Where the mother, they're like, she's yelling at her son and they're having it back and forth, and out of nowhere she just goes, I wish I never had you. Like, I wish I aborted you. I remember in the theater, I audibly laughed, but I was the only one. And then you guys thought I was horrible. Just because, like, I don't know.
That funny.
That was just such a, like, I don't know, because it's awkward. I thought it was meant to be slightly funny. And especially now since Ari Aster's doing this horror comedy, I'm sure we're going to get a lot more of that type of humor. But maybe it wasn't meant to be funny. I don't know. It's I just remember kind of giggling just because it came out of nowhere. It
definitely was not meant to be funny.
Griffin, did I see The Predator with you? Is that when I saw with you? Were you there?
I don't remember.
I saw with someone,
no, no. No, I don't think we saw. We saw what was it, The Prodigy? That one?
Oh yeah, Griffin and I were like cackling at The Prodigy.
Yeah,
and the whole theater was silent, and it was like the screening where all the people who worked on it were there, and Griffin and I don't know what the fuck was going on, but we were like dying laughing. But The Predator, I was the only person who like thought that like the jokes landed in that movie, and that movie showed in a massive screening, like big theater. It was at Universal Studios, I think, and it was like this massive like IMAX screen, and the whole theater is like dead silent.
Was it critics though, or was it like moviegoers? Oh, that's probably why.
And I fucking loved it. I was like, I had so much fun. I was like, this is really poorly made. You could tell like when stuff was shot because it looks different. Like people have aged significantly between scenes, but like if you can get past that, I think that movie's really fun. And there's some solid action.
The Predator?
Yeah, I thought it was okay, and I liked all the jokes. I thought they all landed, and I was pretty pissed that the Halloween stuff didn't continue throughout it. But I think that's why I was so endeared to it when I walked in. I was like, oh, it's set on Halloween, and then I mean, I'm not gonna call it good, but it was fun to watch once.
Sure.
But I was cracking up at that one too. It wasn't as bad as The Prodigy though. Like when people were
that's the Prodigy was just god awful. It's like it's the
first time we hung out too, and I was like,
yeah.
Cool.
I know. We literally walk out and we're just like, what the hell were people? And the thing I was baffled by more was that it was like, it got like a relatively positive reception. It had like a 50 something on Rotten Tomatoes, and I'm like, what? Like, did we watch this? I know. Like, I saw all of you in the theater. What movie were you watching?
That movie is just like every bad kid cliche you could ever think of. Like you could guess if you showed me one screenshot from that movie for 5 seconds and then told me to write a movie about what that screenshot is, I would write the movie. I am very confident in that. It's just so cliche.
I am also confident about that.
But like the weirder thing about it is that every actor in it totally sells like their performance. Like you could tell they're really like trying really hard. Yeah. And that gives it like a sort of like just like off-putting vibe, you know?
Oh sure, yeah. Like the kid
you shouldn't be watching.
Yeah, the kid is really good in it. Like he's
great.
He sells it, but it's just it's so bad, especially the moment where he goes and he visits. Sorry, a little bit of a tangent, but it's like the moment where he goes and he visits that like psychiatrist, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna frame you to make it look like you raped me," and I'm like,
it's so deep. He goes into
that was crazy.
That was like so weird.
And you're like,
yeah.
Like, oh my god, he was a great actor. It's just so ridiculous, and I think that was supposed to be funny. That part, even though it's like extremely dark.
Yeah.
Very very messed up.
We were like,
I know.
It felt like similar humor. I just watched The King of Staten Island and I fucking loved it.
Yeah,
I felt like like if you're in tune with that kind of humor, it's great. But if you think that's disturbing, like you probably should, it might not have been so great. It might have been scary. Yeah. It might explain the positive reception.
For sure. Oh man. This is actually a good one here for you, Jimmy. Josephine DeMarco asking, what would you rather have as a pet, Baby Yoda or Baby Godzilla? For those of you who don't know, Jimmy is the resident Godzilla fan on this live stream right here.
Yeah.
Baby Godzilla because he's still like 12 feet tall.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. How big is Baby Godzilla?
Dude, no, I like Baby Yoda though. He's awesome.
Yeah,
Baby
My
Yoda.
girlfriend and I called him Tony because I finished
Tony.
The Sopranos right before that came out. And she was like, "What do you think his name is?" I was like, "Tony." So every time he come on screen, my girlfriend and I, like when we text about it, we just call him Tony instead of Baby Yoda, and that like gives him this different kind of character to us, and I think that's hilarious. But Baby Godzilla is awesome. He just like
Yeah.
does dumb shit, pisses off his dad, and then his dad gets mad at him. He just doesn't care. And I'm pretty sure Baby Godzilla wears sunglasses at one point, which automatically makes him really
All
cool.
right.
seen
Yeah.
that GIF.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch that animated show that was like Godzilla and like Godzuki, like the little baby guy? Like
I haven't seen it like full through, but I've seen like clips on YouTube. It's so
it's
weird.
so funny. Like I don't know. I guess it's just like, okay, we're gonna turn Godzilla into like a family friendly kids show. That's weird, but all right, go for it.
Did you guys like King of the Monsters?
Yeah, I did.
I enjoyed it.
I thought the fights were sweet. We saw that.
Yeah. I was about to say, yeah, you and I saw that. I think it was just like whenever it was on the humans, I was like, I don't care.
Yeah, that was
It
dumb.
was just
That-
like,
that's what
it was
the Godzilla
bad.
movie is like the Japanese ones. Like people act like they're these like elevated form of cinema or whatever. It's not.
No.
It's really hokey. They have these long, drawn out conversations about the effects of nuclear fallout, and like they're like talking about individual deaths and stuff. They're like that. So that was like that was the best American interpretation of what a Godzilla movie actually is to me.
yeah.
It felt
Yeah,
but
I
the
agree.
movies were better than a lot of the Godzilla movies. Like the shit with Rodan was
Dude,
awesome. Ghidorah.
That
so cool.
third act was nuts.
It was.
Yeah.
Highlight was,
It's
when the
really,
highlight
really
was
good.
like- Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see. We got one here from McLovin asking, what is your favorite music movie? For me, it's Sing Street, not musicals, by the way. Okay, so a movie where music is an integral part. Yeah, Sing Street's a really good pick. Honestly, that's definitely up there for me. I would also throw in School of Rock. I mean, how do you not put that in there?
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
a good
it's
one.
it's
It's a
amazing.
really good one.
I would also well, I guess it's kind of like difficult because do you consider movies that just have a really good soundtrack, or do you talk about movies that are like the main characters are in a band or like are performing or something like that? Because I you can have two different answers, because I think like last year Trey Edward Schultz's Waves, amazing movie with a great soundtrack, but it's I don't know if I would call it like a music movie.
Yeah.
So I guess it depends on how you interpret it. But yeah, Jimmy, what do you have an answer for this?
Does Scott Pilgrim count? Like that would be one.
Oh. Then that one
Oh,
does
yeah.
utilize the
Guess it
sound.
does, yeah.
Chris, I'm curious to hear your answer.
Yeah.
I was gonna go because I was confused also, if not like something simple like Guardians, but if not, like I really like The Star Is Born. I thought they did a good job. Like I don't know about you guys, but when Lady Gaga first scenes on stage for people, that actually brought me to tears. I was like, oh, this is a good movie.
Yeah, that was a great movie. I love that.
Oh,
I
sure.
thought it was
Yeah.
awesome. I saw that in Atmos. And,
Yeah. Same.
This is really good sound.
Oh, yeah. Seeing it, I had to see it again at Amazon because I saw that when it premiered at, or maybe not premiered, but when it showed at TIFF. That was like an just remarkable experience. But then I was like, I didn't get to see it with the Dolby Atmos, and so I was like, I had to make sure as soon as it came out that I went and saw it. And it makes a difference. It's like the beginning, especially, you feel like you're like in the middle
there.
of like a rock concert. Like it's. Oh
Yeah,
gosh,
his
that's such a good
intro
movie.
is
Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah. I don't know why I forgot about that. I just I haven't thought about that movie in a little bit, but it's so good. Okay, another one here from Zach Marsh with the super chat. Thank you so much, man. Saying best movie where the main character dies. Who wants to go first?
Does The Departed count? Leo was the main character, was he not?
Yeah, that's a fucking
Yeah,
great answer.
That is because everyone who would be considered to be a main character in that film dies.
That's
so,
true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess that is true. Yeah. That's a really good answer. I didn't even think about that, but that would be my answer now. So, yeah.
I'm trying to think of movies where the main character dies.
I mean,
You got Logan.
Yeah,
Logan's
you're
a
right.
good one. Logan's
Logan's
a
a
good
good
one.
one.
Yeah. There's like shit. Now I'm blanking. You put me on the spot here, and now I'm blanking.
All
But
right.
damn it! All right, we'll go with The Departed. That's
Yeah,
the
that's the best answer, I
the good
Well, I'm
answer.
surprised you didn't say
That's the
American
best answer.
Beauty. Aren't you a big American Beauty fan?
Again, I'm an idiot and I just don't think of things. So yes, that would probably be one of them too. Yeah.
Hereditary is a good one, I think.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Technically died.
They do. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I guess you could also say Well, no, Florence Pugh is the main character of Midsommar. I don't know. Yes, those are all good answers. Okay. Let's see. Surround 71 saying, "What's a movie scene that always makes you tear up?" God, I mean, there's actually a lot of them.
Part in The Pursuit of Happiness where Will Smith gets the job. I don't know why. It always gets
yeah, that's a good one.
Powerful moment.
Yeah. I thought that was nice.
Yeah.
Little.
For me, the part in Peter Jackson's King Kong where they're like skating on the frozen pond in Central Park, that's so beautiful. That's like that just it touches my heart. Yeah.
So now Gwen Stacy in Amazing Spider-Man 2?
That was another good one.
mean, I've seen that movie so many times that I don't cry anymore, but like I did that is one.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude,
Andrew
that
was
wrecked
amazing.
me.
Yeah,
was like,
Andrew did great with that.
Yeah. What's your pick?
End of 13 Reasons Why just got me pretty hard.
Oh, really? Okay.
That was really sad.
The most recent season or which one?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They did do a good job with there.
I was like, no. When they're going away from the island in Jurassic World 2.
The Fallen Kingdom.
Oh, dude.
I was like,
that is
that's my
that
answer.
is so sad. The Brontosaurus is just like, it's just like, oh my god, this is so sad.
What about the end of Toy Story 3?
Oh yeah, Toy Story 4 had a very tearjerker ending as well.
Toy Story 4.
That hit me good.
Yeah,
that was a great movie. I feel like it was like so good. No one really had much. Like, there's no real conversation to be had about Toy Story 4 because it proved a lot of people wrong, so they didn't have anything snarky to say.
Yeah.
And then most people just agreed it was really good, so it just kind of like fell out of the zeitgeist really quick. It was one of those. It was like
yeah, that's true. Yeah, because I was like so against I think a lot of people were probably against it, but I was like so against the idea of a Toy Story 4. And it's like the more I've read about like where they were going with it, I was like, this is weirdly brilliant and it makes sense. And the execution is even better than what I could have imagined. So much so that I think Toy Story 4 might be my favorite out of the bunch. So there's that.
It's the most relevant to me at the time it came out, for sure.
Yeah. Okay, another super chat here from Eric Thorpe. Thank you so much. Saying, who should play Joel and Ellie in the HBO show of The Last of Us? Yeah, I was actually talking about that a little bit yesterday on Twitter. I think for me, Joel should be Carl Urban, and then to cast anyone other than Caitlin Dever as Ellie is just no, I won't take it. So
I like some people were throwing around Hugh Jackman, but I don't know if he'd be down for that. I don't know. Caitlin Dever, isn't she a little old now to be? She's 23. Isn't like Ellie supposed to be 14 in the first one?
Yeah, she's young.
Yeah, but I mean, like I
guess so.
She can play young. And
well, that's also one thing I want to bring
guess.
up is: do you think they'll stay far from certain storylines of the game, especially in the second one, or do you think they're really just gonna?
The show's first season is gonna be like a direct adaptation of the first game. It's like, I wish it was honestly just something new, like a Firefly's origin or something like that.
I thought they were going to cover the 20 years that we skip in the first game. I thought that's what it was going to be about.
Oh, if that's the case, then yes, I am very interested.
But I've heard different. No, it's not going to be that. But I mean, I thought that's what they would do.
Yeah, that would be awesome. That would be great. Damn, Lulu Wilson's like my favorite kid girl actor, and she's like the right age to play Ellie, so that'd be cool.
Yeah.
I think you're right on with Carl Urban.
Carl Urban would be cool.
Hugh Jackman would just like, he'd be good at it, but he's played very similar characters.
Yeah, Logan and that relationship is basically.
So I just feel like it would like, been there, done that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I want the person who plays Ellie, Ashley Johnson. I want her to be in it in some way because she's awesome. Like Troy Baker,
that's
I
true.
feel like would stand
Troy
out too much,
Baker, yeah.
just because he's like the video game voice actor. But I feel like you could get Ashley Johnson into it in some way, and it would work out just fine.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, it's weird to me though that they're just adapting the game. It's like we can play the game
and see how it. That's my thing. It's like, I know how certain characters' stories end, and I'm like, if they're not gonna stay too far away, what's kind of the point?
Yeah, like I don't need Tess to get like a 6-hour backstory, you know,
like, only to end up where she goes. Yeah.
Yeah. And then like they're not.
Well, and the other thing is do you
clickers too much either?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That you could definitely see them going. Well, I was just gonna say, do you only make it like a 2-season miniseries, or do you like how do you do it? Like, what's the best way to structure this? Do you split the first season into 2 seasons, or sorry, the first game into 2 seasons? Do you split the second game into another 2 seasons, and then you got a 4-season show, or like how do you think they're gonna structure it?
Chris, you got this one.
I mean, I think it'd be easy to do it all in one season, but I think they are going to want to milk it at least 2 seasons long. But even then, like, you know where it's ending and what happens at the end of the first game. So it's like, I don't know. I feel like they have to do something different. Stay away from it a little bit, or else I'll know where it's headed, and I'm just not going to be that invested.
I don't think you could tell the story of 2 in a TV show that's going to be 6 to 10 episodes, because I don't want to say too much for Griffin.
Yeah.
Obviously. You play as a different character for a lot of the game, and you need a lot of time with that character to like actually accept that character.
Yeah, because right now where I'm at, only 10% in, I hate the character, not for dumb reasons.
That's how it's supposed to be. Yeah, and you'll hate her when you start playing as her, but she grows on you. Like that's how.
And that's such a bold choice for the game to make you play someone that you're going to hate without an explanation yet.
Yeah, and I ended up liking her more than Ellie. She's my favorite character in the whole game, like hands down. I love her. I don't think like you can't do that in a movie for sure. Because you'll just end up hating her. And I feel like you need more episodes that a TV show provides. It's weird. Like I'm gonna get shit for this. The Walking Dead is very similar to The Last of Us in where it ended up. The trajectory is very similar, and people get sick of how long The Last of Us or The Walking Dead spreads these stories. Yeah. So like it's weird because they're gonna make a 3rd game. You can't just leave it on 2, and this is the fastest selling PS4 game.
Oh yeah, they're not gonna leave it alone.
So they have to be smart about not having the show pass the game, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because then you run into a Game of Thrones issue.
I don't understand. Like Chris, your idea is great. Going those 20 years, like that's written for them. They can go and do whatever they want in that time period. But adapting the game just doesn't seem like the smartest choice. Like I don't know what you can even add to it. Because it's not like turning a movie into a game, where you have all of these different time periods and stuff you can add in, throw in new story, new characters. It's like you already have, like they're gonna have to take stuff out rather than add stuff in if they're just adapting it. And that's weird to me. I don't know
for sure.
It's not like Castlevania where it's like you just have a bunch of characters with a blank slate in terms of the story. Like
yeah.
But it could be good. I don't know.
Well, I don't know. I'm optimistic. And if anything, it just introduces a wider audience to like these incredible stories. So that's sort of like the upside of adapting it for like television and whatnot. Obviously, I would hope it would be a mini series over like what they did with Watchmen, like a limited mini series or something like that.
So you don't want Watchmen to come back?
Over like. No, absolutely not. God, no. That ended perfectly. Yeah.
I'd like to see more from that world, but not with those characters or that story. Like, does that make sense?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I get that. Yeah, for sure.
It was so well made.
Speaking of that,
leave it on the table.
Yeah. Speaking of adaptations, though, Josephine DeMarco asking who would make a better movie about the COVID crisis, David Fincher or Oliver Stone? I would probably go Fincher, just because like he could probably take what he was going to do with World War Z 2, but like make it his own, and he's not like hindered by a subpar previous film.
Yeah.
So that would be my guess. What about you guys?
Yeah, I'm more in favor of Fincher's style and the dread and slowness of it. I mean, I like Snowden, what Oliver Stone did there, but I don't know. I don't think it was as impactful as it could have been. You guys?
What movie are you gonna make?
Yeah, is it like a multiple?
Well, I know that's the thing. It's like,
and Contagion is basically already would hit all the points.
yeah, I guess that's true.
Right. It's a good point. It's the last thing I really want a movie on right now, too. Like, I'm living it.
Right. I know we're living. That's my biggest fear with this, is that like some people are going to take like a very literal approach to like what's going on when they make movies about what's going on right now, and I don't want that. You can take like the feelings that come out of this whole thing that we're living in right now and put those into a movie. I've probably said it before on here, but like The Others, I think is a great film that perfectly encapsulates like the paranoia and claustrophobia and fear of what's going on right now. And they're planning on remaking that. And I'm like, okay, are you going to put some sort of modern COVID like spin on it? Like that just doesn't, that like, why would you do that? That's just superficial for no reason. So I don't want to see stuff like that. I want to see stuff that that dives into the more metaphorical, you know.
The one thing I do see happening though is like, you know how we get movies that have like time lapses where they always show you like a montage, and like for the longest time 9/11 has been like a staple of time lapses. It's like oh, 9/11 happened, that's a staple in our history, we passed that. Now in future movies we're gonna get just quick scenes of people wearing masks and stuff, and it's like, oh, I remember that year.
Yeah. It's like,
yeah, it'll make everything feel dated.
Yeah, I don't have an opinion on this question.
That's fine. That's fine. Okay, another super chat here from Gunya. Thank you so much, man. Asking best animated sequence you've seen on film or television. Best animated sequence. I mean, there's like you could go back to like the original Mary Poppins when they're doing that the whole the 2D animation with like the live action. That was like cutting edge for the time, and it was like it's still like really exciting to watch. I mean, stuff in Spider-Verse is really good. Like Miles Morales like becoming
awesome. Yeah.
That's
what I was gonna say.
Well, the whole I mean, because it's just like, and I get it. It's like a recent movie, so it's like fresh in our minds. But like, also, I wouldn't hesitate to call it one of the best animated movies of all time. Like, it is just like, yeah, it just hits that spot. And like, you know, whether you're talking about the "What's Up, Danger" sequence where he like becomes Spider-Man, or like the ending, or like, there's just so many sequences in that film that are just like gorgeous to look at. But yeah, I don't know. Do you guys have a
great one?
I mean, I don't know if it's...
Yeah.
What would you say, Jimmy?
The intro to Up.
Oh, intro to Up, yeah. I mean, that's what I was gonna go with. Not with Up, but with like Wall-E. I love the first like 10, 15 minutes where you're just alone with him on the planet and he's scavenging and all the stuff he collects. Just, I love that sequence of Wall-E.
That's a great one too. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Spider-Man one was my go-to. Then I would say the intro to Up. Chris's one's great too. I don't know. There's like boiling it down to one sequence is like kind of hard.
Maybe when Shrek 2 with the giant cookie and the theme song in the background.
That one is so
I
good.
love that.
Yeah. Oh gosh, that's funny.
Yeah.
That one's good. There's like so many sequences in Shrek that are great. Yeah, good question though. Good question. Gabe Tricks with a super chat in here. Thank you so much. Asking favorite Paul Verhoeven film. Mine is Starship Troopers. Starship Troopers is good. He did RoboCop, right?
Yeah, RoboCop, hands down. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah. RoboCop will be mine for sure. I don't know. I mean, like Total Recall is fun with Schwarzenegger, and so is Starship Troopers. But man, yeah, you can't beat RoboCop for sure.
I'm so excited for the new one, but I don't know if they're gonna make it.
I just
will
feel
it
like
happen?
Now they should just not make it.
I know, like when they lost
Yeah.
Blomkamp, I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
And he recently
What do you guys
tweeted, he's back to making movies, and I was hoping it was a re-announcement, because the whole point he left was because he had like a scheduling conflict, and with the pandemic, I feel like it ruined everyone's schedule. So I thought maybe he would have been back.
Yeah, like why? I don't understand why. I guess Orion is being big like that. Like,
Yeah.
oh, you can't do this first. You're not gonna do it. It's like,
Yeah.
can you really afford to do that, guys? Like, I don't
Exactly.
Yeah.
know.
I don't know.
Like, the last movie was Gretel and Hansel, which was good. It's like that wasn't pulling in millions though. Like,
Yeah.
It was that was an interesting film. It was like
Hollow Man is sick. He did Hollow Man. You guys seen that movie?
Yeah, I
I
was
love
actually
Hollow Man. That was my
yeah, I was
favorite
about to bring up Hollow Man.
before this
Yeah.
one.
Movie's terrifying. When
What?
the monkey comes back from being
Yeah.
invisible.
You don't like him
Yeah.
in Hollow Man? Or
No, I like Hollow Man. It's just like I mean, for me to say anything other than the original Invisible
I
Man,
guess,
I don't know. Like the original Invisible Man is like way
Different
better.
enough. Come on. Yo, okay.
Yeah,
That's not a fair comparison.
Yeah. Well, okay. Yeah. All right. Fair. But I do.
Hollow Man is like fun trash. You
yeah,
know?
it is.
Yeah. That's fair.
It's like
It is like Event Horizon. Let's see. Got another one. Oh, okay. So I don't know. I'm not big on American Horror Story, but I assume both of you guys are because you're horror people. So Karen Langer asking, just finished rewatching American Horror Story season 1. What are you guys' thoughts on season 1? And I have never watched after it. Should I continue?
I have actually only seen season 1, and I tried the most recent season of the slasher because I love slashers, but it was just like a little too corny and like
it was so like it was
trying
like
so hard to be meta or something. I
yeah,
don't know.
trying sort of be meta. It was like if you asked someone who never saw a slasher movie to like make what they think a slasher movie is, that's kind of like what it felt like. The first 3 seasons are worth watching, I think.
Okay.
The second season is set in an asylum, and it brings in like Ed Gein and
Oh, cool.
aliens and shit. Like,
Oh, shit.
It goes nuts. It's way too long. It's like I think it's like 20 episodes, and there's 2 full plots in it.
Yeah.
It's like 2 seasons of TV, and then the third one is a bunch of witches who live in a house. It's like Dark Harry Potter, and it's
That's so
pretty
weird.
good. I like that one, and then after that, it's like nosedive.
I am excited for their Hulu show because now they're doing it where every episode will be its own self-contained story. American Horror Stories is what they're
That'd be
calling it.
better.
Oh, interesting.
And so I'm going to be on Hulu.
Yeah, I could be down with that. I watched a little bit of the 80s slasher one that just came out, the most recent season, and I dug that from what I'd seen. And granted, I was going into that like completely blind and never seen a season of American Horror Story, but I know it's an anthology series, so it's like I can just jump in wherever, and I like kind of dug the concept. And I like that. I want to finish it, but yeah, I don't know. I'm just
Channel Zero. It's like it's like a much better version of the concept of American Horror Story. I just don't think what's that guy's name, Ryan Murphy. I just don't think I don't think he knows the genre as well as he thinks he does, and I feel like that really comes across on the show. It feels like he's saying like, look, everyone who's telling me I'm wrong, I'm right. You're not. He did one on that could have been so cool, the Roanoke one that was 50%. It was like trying to riff on Ghost Adventures, and then also show you what really happened. But the sequence of events lined up like pretty much perfectly, which like why are you even including the ghost hunting aspect at that point? Because they never really call it fake. And then it was just bad. Like the actual story sucked. It's really dumb. I don't know. I think that show's terrible. It's not good.
Yeah. I think when it comes to Ryan Murphy, it's just like he's very hit or miss. I think he's really good at starting things or like individual like series. Like obviously the People versus O.J. Simpson is incredible.
I did like that.
Even the assassination of Gianni Versace was really good. And like
those
there
are like things that actually happened, so you can't fuck around with it.
But then like something like Hollywood that just came out on Netflix was like really divisive, and it's I don't know, he's an interesting showrunner that like when he hits the right thing, he's good, but more often than not, I don't know, I'm not really drawn to his stuff.
He did Scream Queens, right? People really like that.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he did Scream.
Who did the Scream show?
MTV. I don't know.
Oh yeah,
That was like,
the first 2 seasons were great. Griffin got me hooked on it. I was one of those naysayers, and then Griffin's like, no, check it out.
Some directors on it. Like Ty West did a ton of that show, and he's like one of my favorite horror directors. Wes Craven executive produced that, and you still have the same writer from the movies, pretty much.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's probably exactly. I don't. What the fuck was up with that most recent season, guys? Like, what?
I went back and watched it.
So bad.
And it's like the intent was there, the execution was so bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I thought you liked it, Chris. That's funny.
Oh no, I did a review and I was so disappointed with it. I was actually yearning to like it because it was like at that time I hadn't seen the first 2 seasons, so I was like, okay, a reboot. It's all new, all fresh stories.
Yeah,
and it was so disappointing.
I think they had a lot right in the sense of obviously the mask and the voice. That's like I feel like being resistant to that in the first 2 seasons was dumb on their part, and also doing only 6 episodes was very smart. Like, because then you can get. I feel like I've talked about this on a podcast recently, so it's like fresh in my mind.
Yeah,
I feel like when you have a 6-episode TV show, those side characters that are in the movies where you're like dead from the beginning, like you know who's going to die, it masks it a little bit more when you have it spread over 6 hours, and you get to know them a lot more. Like they become characters instead of like MacGuffins is the wrong word, but they're just essentially there to die. That's what I feel like in movies. So I feel like if you get the right channel and you get the right people involved, I feel like honestly Scream would work better as a TV show. As like if you had an anthology where every season was different, but you kept the math and the voice, and that's it, and just had all new characters every time, and like lampoon different types of horror movies. I feel like that would work so much better than what they're doing with Scream 5. Like, I don't know how you feel.
I don't know what's going on with it.
Yeah, like it just feels.
Because I'm over here.
Before, basically.
Yeah, I'm over here thinking that like, well, this is my thought. They can't confirm or anything. That if they get the legacy characters back, they're just going to be supporting roles, kind of like Harrison Ford in Force Awakens, and that they're going to have a new lead. But people are really mad that when I say that, and so like I'm just holding back because Scream 4 unfortunately bombed, and I just don't think Nev, Gale, and Dewey, those actors, are star-studded enough to do that. And movies are going away from putting in numbers in their titles now. Instead, they just put some, just like Halloween is kills instead of like Halloween 3 or 4, whatever it's actually supposed to be now. And I don't know. I really am hoping it regenerates Scream though, because I just love it. But I don't know how it's gonna go.
I just don't know what they could. Like, I like the directing team, obviously. I think.
Oh yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Like, they've got all the right people involved. I just don't. I don't know how it's going to differentiate itself from Scream 4, because Scream 4 was just ahead of its time. Really.
Yeah.
If Scream 4 came out now, it would work a lot better.
Well, it's like the question is, what are the horror tropes of today that they can poke fun at, right?
Like,
right. You could do stuff like that. I mean, you could also. Like, I mean, the big trend right now is just like socially relevant horror movies, like what Jordan Peele is doing, like, you know, stuff that Ari Aster is doing, even though that's more on an art house level. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of, I guess, you know, like The Hunt did that too, to an extent. Lee Winnell did that with The Invisible Man. So maybe, I don't know, maybe that's their avenue in. But I have no idea. I agree with you. The only thing that gets me excited is the team behind it. I think Radio Silence is an amazing pick. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just glad that they have like some of the original people back. I don't, if they really wanted to be bold, they'd kill them all at the beginning.
It'd be great. I feel like that's what's holding back, because we've had Dewey sign on, and a lot of people, when he came on, he's like, of course, he's wrestling right now. He's not doing movies. He's the easiest to negotiate with. I think Nev is holding out on like, you make me the lead or you don't kill me. I think those are her like restrictions for coming on, I feel like.
Yeah,
possibly. I don't know.
That makes sense.
Okay, so 402-1971 saying Murder House and Freak Show were the only good seasons of American Horror Stories. What do you guys think about that?
Freak Show's the most iconic because it had that clown, that fucking
the clown one. Yeah.
Everyone loved the Halloween Horror Nights house that year with him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
A lot of the characters in Freak Show are from season 2, Asylum.
Which season was Murder House?
That's the first season.
The first one.
That's the first one. Okay, all right, got you.
It's kind of it's fine.
Yeah. That's why I never continued on.
Yeah, fair enough. Kieran Douglas saying, I just showed my parents Aronofsky's Mother. Do you find it pretentious or masterful? In my opinion, it's the latter. Also, J-Law was snubbed this year for a nom. I hate that movie. I think it is a pretentious piece of garbage. And it's one of the most insufferable theater going experiences I've ever had. Like, I wanted to leave so many times, but I stuck it through. It's just an angry rant is what it is. There's no direction or like aim with it. It's just like, you can tell that like Darren Aronofsky was just pissed off at the world and decided to just write a whole script, like getting all of his thoughts out. And I'm sure it was a very cathartic experience, but the film that we got wasn't good. So I don't know. I mean, yeah, Jennifer Lawrence is good in it. But I don't like the movie. I don't know. Do you guys like it?
No,
I'm not from
I'm not a fan.
Yeah. See, there you go.
I don't know if I can call it pretentious, but like, I didn't love it.
I
don't have the knowledge base on what it is. I was just like, I was really hype and like, I was like, oh, well, maybe I should check this out. And I saw it and I was like, that sucked.
Yeah.
I never thought about it again.
I don't like it. But okay. So Surround 71 asking, what would you say is your favorite horror movie? Jimmy, we all know what that is, right?
Halloween. Yeah.
Halloween.
Yeah, of course.
The first one
Absolutely.
all the way?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Nightmare on Elm Street 3 for me. Dream Warriors.
You're telling me it's not Child's Play.
Oh my god, here we go. He still bags on me for liking it, Jimmy.
Why is it not Child's Play?
I like it. I don't love it. Like there's definitely things I could have done with that. The newest one, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I know.
I wouldn't even go as far as I wouldn't guess that's your favorite movie.
Yeah, no, I like
your vibe on it is like you're like defending it. It's not you're like people are too hard on it.
I feel that I do think they're too hard on it. I get the people who don't like
kind of
it.
A punching bag.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not gonna lie, I contributed to that because I don't like it.
I mean, but
I appreciate your standpoint.
But like, hear me out. What if it's just not good?
I think especially now since it's on Prime and Hulu, people who check it out and they go, I actually liked it. And the thing I always hear, and it doesn't make sense to me, is people say it would have been good if they changed the title. I'm like, so if you do nothing to the movie,
I don't think so.
I know that's not you, but I get that, and it's just people who hold on to the Chucky character that it's like, I wanted it to be this way, and you gave me this. So I just applaud them for doing something different, and I thought it actually worked.
I think if they they'd have to make a lot of changes to the core of it. But I feel like there were so many good pieces to that puzzle, but just a few were missing. Really, it's really complicated because on its own it's fun, but when you compare it to the legacy of the other movies, it just like doesn't compare to the beginning. I think if you put that in the same pile as like, you know, Bride and Seed, it's like, why are we even comparing these movies? They're all like, the Bride and Seed are terrible. The Curse is fine. Cult is god awful. So it's not.
I like Cult.
Dude, I need to rewatch Cult because I've
seen a lot of people say they hate it also, but I
so many people say they love it. I was like,
I was like it.
I thought the glass ceiling kill was great. I'll always remember that, and I also really liked the like whitewashed setting with the snow and everything, and there was some like weirdly good filmmaking in that movie.
John Seed is getting slightly better from his Seed days.
Jeez.
I don't know what it is about the remake, really. I feel like I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I was, because I went in expecting like hot trash, and it was like coherent. It was kind of like weirdly endearing. It had some good comedy moments. The watermelon head kill is amazing. Yeah. The kills were way too brutal for the story that movie was trying to tell. But I loved it. Like, I was fine with that. There's a bunch of dude. I remember our reviews; they're identical, which is bizarre because Chris and I did not talk before we did the reviews, and then we watched each other's reviews, and it's bizarre how much they line up.
Yeah. Because I acknowledge all the flaws in it, but I just, at the end of the day, I was like, I had fun. I liked it.
Yeah, we had the same journey, but we had different conclusions. I was like, yeah, it was exactly what I fucking thought it was going to be. And I feel like empty about it. I was like, I can just move on now.
Yeah.
It happened. It happened.
It's been already a year. There's no way, which kind of sucks. I would have liked to have seen it, but whatever.
I think it would be too complicated with the
the legal situation. Yeah, the only reason they made it is because MGN had a legal loophole, and they're like, "Ooh, popular IP that we can exploit."
When did the 1980 was when the first one came out, right?
Yeah,
Like right on the dot.
Yeah.
So that's past the point where Don Mancini could take it back, but I think he already
feel like there might be pushback because a lot of that first movie, if you don't know Griffin, like Don Mancini is like, he did. Yeah. If you really look into it, he's like only like 20% of what Chucky turns out to be is actually from Don. The rest is from the original director Tom Holland, because Don's original script did not have Charles Lee Ray. It wasn't even supposed to be a serial killer. No voodoo was involved. It was all spiritual and supernatural. So I think if he wants to go to that legal battle, he'd risk losing the IP.
Yeah, and a
Probably,
lot of what made the first movie good, like in the end, was Don Mancini in the editing room. Like he re-edited that movie and he made a lot of changes behind the scenes, but that's not writing. So I think I think you're right there. But like that whole thing, like where you can take your script back after 35 years, like that's gonna cause a lot of problems.
That is like Pinhead's doing that right now. Clive Barker.
With the Hellraiser. Yeah.
The reboot and the HBO series.
Really, he deserves to make some money on that, because the movie is going to be weird. I don't know. There's no distributor, and at this point, I don't feel like that movie's ever going to come out just with the HBO show happening. I feel like it'd be stupid because you're just you're forcing your movie to be compared to a show that's probably going to be a lot better than whatever. As much as I love the team that's attached to the movie.
And if they even make it, I don't think it's going to be that well made. I think it's going to be rushed in the same way the Pet Sematary movie was, because they made that movie because Stephen King was asking for the rights, and they had a year left with it, and they were like, here's another Pet Sematary.
I've got a Halloween story that no one knows, I don't think.
Oh, cool.
I talked about this on a different live stream yesterday. So the way Dimension and the Weinsteins lost Halloween was Miramax was unhappy with how things were going with the Halloween franchise, because the Weinsteins were just like, get something in theaters. It doesn't matter what it is. Like, just get something in theaters so we can make money. So Miramax was like, when all this Me Too shit started happening, they were like, those rights are about to expire. I don't think we're going to say anything to the Weinsteins. They just crossed their fingers that they would like not notice that they were about to lose Halloween, and they didn't. So the Miramax is like, sweet, and they just took it.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Worked out for the best.
I love that. Yeah, it did. Yeah.
My buddy, my buddy Brad from Bloody Disgusting told me that the other day, and I was like, "What?" Because I was talking to him about why New Line chose Platinum Dunes to make all those movies. When they did all the remakes, and somehow got off track and started talking about Halloween, and that's just so funny to me that they're like, we're just not going to say anything.
Yeah, that's hilarious. I mean, listen, it worked out for the best. So I'm like glad that happened. But that's hilarious.
It worked out a lot better than the 3D sequel to Rob Zombie.
Yeah, my God.
10 years later.
Oh yeah.
But it was also going to consider the original movie in the original 2 to be canon.
Yeah.
So it was going to be Halloween 1, 2. Rob Zombie's 1 and 2 somehow are all canon.
It doesn't even make sense. Yeah, it just doesn't. Yeah, it's just bad. Yeah.
There's a book coming out about that. Everyone should check out. It's about unmade Halloween sequels.
I heard about that. Yeah,
that could be interesting. Yeah, for sure. All right, guys, start sending in your last final questions. We're gonna try and take some last minute good ones. So make them good, make them the creative. If you want to use that super chat, that is available to you.
While they're doing that. You never mentioned you had your own scoop, Griffin. I'm over here with celebrities who get scoops, and I'm just a little commentary blogger.
Batman, would it be crazy if I told you I had more information that I'm still holding on to about that?
You better.
I will. I'll tell you after the stream, because I don't know if I want to drop it just yet.
Yeah.
I might. Yeah, I might drop it on Sean's upcoming podcast as a follow up. But
It was
yeah,
great,
no,
I saw a lot of channels pick it up and stuff. I saw
Yeah.
one channel that made a joke that I can't believe I never made before. Someone was talking about they're like crediting you like Griffin Schiller, and then they were like, I wonder if he ever gets called a shill.
I have before actually. I have on like some of the videos. I don't even remember which videos, but yeah, no, yeah. So Tim Burton coming back to direct, or Keaton wants Burton to direct Batman Beyond, and that's like a massive, like the entire deal basically hinges on that. Like, it's I don't know if I think if you look at like everything that kind of came out about that, it makes sense. Also, like, why would Keaton come back to play a character just for the novelty of it? He's gonna want to like explore that character and where he's been for like the past like 20 years or so, or
He likes
longer
that
than
character, right?
20 years.
Like
Or what?
he likes that character, I heard.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
The only reason he left was because they wanted to get rid of Burton for the third movie, and
Right.
Keaton was
Yeah.
like, no Burton, no me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right. Because it,
Spider-Man, he was just saying I'm Batman to Tom Holland all the time, right?
Oh,
Like, isn't
yeah.
that the
Yeah.
story?
I think he's proud of it.
Yeah.
oh yeah, for sure. Well, I think it'd be great to see him just like finish off like the journey for the character. You know, get a third movie, maybe even a fourth one. I don't know. The thing that I will say, this is like a continuation of that scoop. I don't think I mentioned it on Sean's podcast, but I'll put it here. If you're listening to this live stream an hour and 30 minutes into it, here you go. Here's your little tidbit. The whole thing about him being Nick Fury, the Nick Fury of the DCEU, is just complete bullshit. That's
Good.
not what he first
They
of
don't
all,
need that connection.
let's-
like, they can just
no,
stand
no.
alone.
yeah,
So-
like, okay, guys, let's just use logic here. Is Michael Keaton going to come back and play a character that he hasn't played for over 20 years just to be their Nick Fury? No, he's artistically attached to this person. And so it's like, they don't even have a script. They don't have a treatment yet. They're waiting to see if they can get Burton. And then Keaton wants Burton to come in and do his like thing, like to make that movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you know, I if they get him, I think Burton's a perfect pick, truthfully, because I think that like gothic, you
I
know,
love
the gothic sense,
Yeah.
but he's also got like punk elements to him, you know? It's like he can take creative liberties with Batman Beyond. It doesn't have to literally be
Yeah.
Batman in a Blade Runner universe. Like that doesn't, you don't have to do a literal translation.
I don't want a Blade
translation.
Runner Batman movie.
No, it's like
That's Blade Runner at that.
yeah, exactly. Like you can do your own spin on it while still making it feel like Batman Beyond.
I feel like
so
we're about to have like a whole, like, you know, few years of stuff in that sort of realm because Cyberpunk is coming out. I feel like that's gonna really, because you know, it's weird if you look at video games that come out and are really huge, like Cyberpunk is looking like it's going to be. Movies
Yeah.
always chase that trend a little bit because the people who like directors will play the game and then they'll get all
Yeah.
these ideas about how they can translate it. So yeah, between
Yeah.
like Dune and Dune's not obviously like cyberpunky at all, but it's like
right.
like techno thriller. I don't know.
Yeah, it is gonna have some.
Yeah, it's like one of those. Like, yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, no. I mean, like, listen, this is. It comes to me from. I actually got a second confirmation on it, so I know that I'm right on this.
Awesome.
But the source who told me the end of Wonder Woman, third act of Wonder Woman, like a year in advance with everything with Ares. He or she, who knows? They what the hell else? What was the other one that they told me? There was another one. Oh, they told me the Riddler thing for
Batman.
for Batman, for the Batman. Yeah, that he's going to be the main antagonist of that film.
Awesome.
Also, the whole stuff that went down with Batfleck, the script details that kind of came out about that film and whatnot. So it's like whenever they give me like information on like Warner Brothers and DC, like they trust, like I trust what they're saying, and I haven't been wrong before, like in what they've told me.
And I know,
but
yeah, you
obviously-
two guys aren't one to lie either way for like clout, like a we got this covered or anything like that. So whenever
yeah, no, for sure.
y'all had your scoops, I was like, oh, this sounds awesome.
Yeah. I mean, like, look, it's like one of those things. It's like I'm always hesitant about like putting information out, like because that's not my game. Like I'm not in the scooping game. I just happen to have some information.
Could be right, and then
Yeah.
it doesn't end up happening.
I don't
Yeah,
believe
for
anything
sure.
with Halloween anymore because everyone's got a scoop of the I got a friend at Blumhouse. It's like you don't have. And if you get a friend at Blumhouse, your friend at Blumhouse doesn't know fucking shit about Halloween.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. That's
not the distributor.
only
It's
people
so
who are
annoying.
like only people who are like super high up. Like
Yeah.
they're not gonna like relay that information to like peasants who work at Blumhouse. Like let's be
Yeah,
like
this guy's like, my buddy's an editor at Blumhouse, and I was like, cool, so he knows virtually nothing. Nice. He's in an enclosed room or at home.
Yeah.
annoying.
No, but yeah, I think what also kind of got me a little bit more excited about Burton returning is possibly returning is Batman Returns. Just rewatching that movie is so fucking slept on. Like it is so. Yeah, Batman Returns with Danny DeVito, Michelle Pfeiffer.
I mixed up in my head with the Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking at first.
Yeah.
It was okay, but yeah, you're right. That movie's great. I love Batman Returns.
Yeah. No, it's so good. It just like I don't know, seeing what Burton could do with just like modern superhero like technology and like filmmaking technology. I don't know. It's
that would lend itself really well to a game. Style. The Arkham games kind of went that way.
They did.
Sharp left back the other. They went more for like the big vibe. Like I don't know.
Yeah,
Arkham Knight looks really good.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, a few other questions in here. Again, guys, start sending in your last questions. We're gonna close out here, so make them good. John Early asking, do you like the movies Joel Schumacher made based on the John Grisham novels, A Time to Kill and The Client? Yes, I do. I think they're great.
That's what the movie's called. I've never even heard of these.
Yeah, I haven't either.
Yeah. A Time to Kill is really, really good. I highly recommend it. But what do you just, I guess, kind of celebrating, the life of Joel Schumacher in his unfortunate passing. What are your favorite Schumacher movies?
Obviously, Lost Boys.
Yeah, Lost Boys is a great one. Falling Down is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen that movie? It's a video game.
Just trying to think what else. I mean, 8mm is really good with Nick Cage. I
had high hopes for number 23.
right. His oh shit, what was the movie he did? Flatliners. Flatliners is fun.
Oh.
Yeah, it's fun. And then I really like his Phantom of the Opera. I know, like, I'm probably the only person. Really? I don't.
Yeah,
I always
feel like
hear
it's coming back. It's having its moment now. Like, people are like, "Oh, I actually really like that."
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. I've always dug it, and like, I don't hate Gerard Butler's singing. I think it's like it's not great, but it's like it's coming from more of like a passion than like a actually really great singer. And so I think in the context of the film, it works. But I mean, I don't know. I've always loved that film. Well, and then Batman Forever. Like people like they shit on his movie, like his Batman movies, and like you just got to look at when they came out. There were like what the studio was looking for, what he was trying to do. I think that I think Batman Forever is actually kind of solid. I'm not a big fan of Tommy Lee Jones in that movie, but like you take him out, and I think it's actually like I don't know, it's fun. Yeah. Sure. Even Batman and Robin, like it's not a good movie, but it's like it's so campy and self-aware that like it's fun to watch, Okay, one here from McLovin, and I think we'll take one more and then close it out. So make the last one good, guys. Okay, McLovin asking, if you could watch one movie that got delayed right now, which would you choose? Movies like Tenet that would have come out yet doesn't count. So yeah, I mean, for me that's easy. It's No Time to Die, but yeah, that would have been my choice.
It's getting delayed.
Yeah.
Geez, I don't know. Wait, was Ghostbusters supposed to be out by now? I think it was. Wasn't it?
Yeah, Afterlife.
So I would have picked Afterlife because that looks really good.
Yeah. All right, guys. One more question. Oh, okay. Here we go. This is the last question. We're gonna close out on this. Thanks for the super chat, Zach. Good one. He's saying best. What is the best Hitchcock movie?
North by Northwest.
Honestly, you're not far off.
Good one.
Or Rear Window.
Yeah. or Rear Window. What's Chris? Chris, what do you got?
I would just basic Psycho guy. I need to go back into his. I've only seen Birds and Psycho, I think.
You simpleton.
I
How
know.
dare
I'm
you?
sorry. I'm a fraud.
I mean, it's okay. Mine's probably like one of the other obvious ones. I really like Vertigo. Vertigo's one of my favorite movies of all time. Also, did you guys ever see his film Rope?
Yeah,
where it was like the one shot?
Yeah. They did the classics, like going behind a wall and shit. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good movie.
Yeah. It's fun. Like it's just like it's a nice little self-contained thriller, but
yeah, it's for when it was made, it's like one of those movies where the gimmick is like better than the movie is, but
yeah.
you have to give it like extra points because it was made like so long ago. It was like the first
Oh,
movie
sure.
to really do it.
Yeah, for sure. All right, guys. Well, that is going to close out today's live stream. Thank you so much to both of my guests for joining me, Mr. Jimmy Champane and Mr. Chris 3C Film Review. Jimmy, where can everyone find you?
Just add my name. There's no G in my last name for everyone who wants to search it. It's in your description. That's it. At Jimmy Champane everywhere.
And he's going to be talking about Halloween for the foreseeable future on his channel.
Yeah, Halloween, Evil Dead, Scream. I'm playing around with Scream. I'm like, I don't want to get in a situation where it's a movie I'm not excited for, but I'm still covering it, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm going to do infrequent Scream for now.
Cool.
Okay. Well, there you go. Chris, everyone knows you, but where can they find you?
You guys can find me at youtube.com/3cfilms or on Twitter at 3cfilmreview. Thank you for having me on, Griffin.
Yeah, of course, man. Both of you stick around because I'm gonna tell you what else I know later. So
Okay, good.
So I'm gonna remove you from the stream, but don't leave. Yeah, guys, thank you so much for tuning in again. Whoops, I've got bars on my face, so let's get rid of that. Where is it? Right there. All right, there we go. Thanks so much, as always, guys, for tuning into these live streams. They're a lot of fun, and it really helps the channel. I love engaging with you and talking movies with you. But as always, if you haven't done so already, subscribe to this channel if you want to continue to be a part of the conversation that we have here and part of the community. I have my interview with Dan Stevens should be coming up in the coming days. That one was a lot of fun, so you're definitely going to want to keep an eye out for that. You can like FilmSpeak on Facebook, follow us on Twitter simply by searching FilmSpeak. And lastly, if you like what I have to say and are interested in all my weird or controversial thoughts or hot takes, you can follow me on Twitter at Griff Schiller. All right, guys. Well, that's going to do it for this week's live stream, and we will catch you next week. Take care.
Did you rub my land? That was a generous.